Hi everyone, my name is Ariel. I'm a field instructor and program graduate at Outdoor Outreach. And welcome to Outdoor Outreach Community Connect. During this time of uncertainty, we are working on ways to stay connected with the Outdoor Outreach community and the program participants to bring the most up-to-date information on COVID-19. This includes responsible ways to recreate the outdoors during the outbreak. Our goal at Outdoor Outreach is to promote active living, well-being, and mental health during the COVID-19 outbreak. If you missed it, we've also been doing live streams on Facebook every Monday and every Friday. You can find us on Facebook at Outdoor Outreach, or you can also find our recordings here on this channel or on Instagram. If you missed our video last week, we've also been doing the throwing egg challenge. And for the next video, I'm going to introduce you to Hannah, our senior instructor out in the field. And she's going to be teaching you...
Thanks, Ariel. Hi, my name's Hannah. I'm a field instructor here at Outdoor Outreach, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can grow your own food at home. This OO egg actually might come in handy. I hope that you are all being safe and healthy and happy during this COVID-19 pandemic. I know that while we all shelter in place, we find ourselves with a lot of time on our hands, but not always a lot of resources or things to do. So I'm going to show you today, from start to finish, how I use some common grocery items to create a very mini vegetable garden using just water and some containers that I already had around the house. And then I'm going to wrap it up tonight by showing you how to cook one of my favorite meals with the ingredients you see here in front of me. All right, the first thing that I want to show you are some items that if you place the correct pieces of them in just water, they will regrow parts of themselves so that you can eat them again. While I'm using these, I'm going to be cutting some parts up and placing them in the blue bowl to take inside and wash and use in our meal. And other pieces of them I'm going to be placing in our veggie scraps bag, which is going to go in my freezer, but we'll also use it for our meal later. So everything on this plate right now is going to get used up, which is awesome.
Garlic, carrots, celery, bok choy, and lettuce will all regrow in just water. I'm going to cut each of these about the length of my pointer finger, but the orange ones that I start with don't care at all about the rules. Garlic cloves don't need to be peeled, just make sure they sit pointy side up. And carrots need to be cut about an inch tall with the green tops removed and saved. For the rest of the veggies, just remove and save any wilted leaves from the outside before cutting. A great tip for the kitchen is to keep cut celery and carrots in water to keep them fresh longer. Choose any clean containers from around the house that these cuttings will fit snugly into and fill about halfway up each cutting with water. Most of the energy that they need to grow will come from the sunlight, so make sure to feed them a light snack during the day by placing them on a windowsill or even better yet, outside. And don't forget to change the water every few days. All right, y'all, I wanted to show you what can happen in just 2 weeks of leaving those cuttings in water. So here's a few before and afters. Starting with the garlic and green onion, you can see that the roots totally exploded and the shoots grew up, which you can cut and reuse and they will keep growing. Our celery has a whole bunch of new little growth. It's growing a whole new celery stalk in there. Same with the bok choy. In just 2 weeks, we have all of those new leafy greens. Our green onions again, look at how tall those grew. It's awesome. And our lettuce over here, you can see we've got a whole bunch of new leafy greens coming out. If you let this go long enough, you'll grow almost a whole new head of lettuce. And then just to show, this is another one that I started. There was a few growths that kind of popped up there, but it just didn't take. It might have been an older head of lettuce, or I didn't change the water frequently enough, but that's why it's always good to start more than one.
All right, y'all. I want to show you that once you've grown your clippings in water for about 2 weeks, there's actually a way to keep them getting bigger and bigger by planting them in soil. So if you want to keep your garden going, you can use some containers from around your house, some of the items that we already grew in water, and I'll show you a few more that you can start either in soil or water to root. So first things first, we have to prepare our containers.
Milk cartons, soda bottles, tin and aluminum cans, and food containers can all have a second life as a planter. To weed out what will work, it's important that you're able to create some drainage holes in the bottom and that it's tall enough for roots to grow downward. Please be very careful while cutting into containers. A great first project is creating a self-watering pot with a soda bottle. To start, you're going to cut a bottle in half. The top will hold the soil and the bottom will hold water and act as a stand. Thread some string through a piece of paper towel or coffee filter so dirt won't fall through, and put the string through the opening so it's about halfway hanging out. Fill the top with soil and mix the string into the dirt. Fill the bottom stand with water and dip the string into it. The water will travel up the string to dampen the soil.
All right, now that we have our containers prepped and full of dirt, we're going to go ahead and plant.
Start by using your fingers to make a hole in the soil. Place your cuttings deep enough so that all of the roots are covered. Add more soil and gently press down so that there are no air pockets around the roots. Oh, and don't forget the most important part. Sometimes I get so excited I forget to wet my plants.
All right, y'all, the last thing I want to show you is how you can plant seeds, again in containers that you find in your house. And these are really fun to watch grow from just the tiny little seed into seedlings into eventually whole plants.
In the first container, I'm going to plant microgreens. Microgreens are the seedlings of other edible vegetables and herbs that you can plant really close together. They grow super fast and are ready to eat in about a week when they are 2 or 3 inches tall. Next, I'll create individual seed starters, first using an egg carton and then using cut-up paper towel rolls to create cups by folding and cutting one end. Once they've sprouted, each individual seed starter can actually be planted in the ground whole because the cardboard will decompose. Old tomato containers make perfect greenhouses for these to keep seeds warm and trap in moisture. To plant seeds, make a small hole with your finger, drop in individual seeds, and lightly cover with soil. The seeds that I planted here are super radishes and cool cucumbers. Woo, it's finally time to start cooking. I'm gonna make veggie broth from our scraps and a big bowl of ramen using the ingredients that we planted today and some of the things that I grew myself. Let's start with our scraps. You can add to your scrap bag anytime and keep it in the freezer for about a month. When you're adding things to your veggie scrap bag, make sure to never add anything that's moldy, slimy, or gross. What should go in there are pieces that you didn't use in other meals but still hold on to a lot of flavor. Some examples are onion peels, celery and carrot tops, bell pepper stems, tomato tops, and stems from herbs like basil, parsley, and thyme. Do you see what I did there? We're going to add all of our scraps to a big pot and add just enough water to cover them. We'll boil this for 45 minutes and then strain out the liquid broth. Next, I'm going to add some fresh garlic and onion, whole peppercorns and salt, and some thyme. Get it? I'm going to prep some onion, carrots, and celery to add into the final broth. After 45 minutes, I'll strain all of the scraps out, make a huge mess pouring the broth back into the red pot, and then add the onion and celery and carrot mixture. Now it's time to make a big bowl of ramen. In a new pot, I'll add some fresh broth, a handful of ramen noodles, some mushrooms, fresh basil, and chop up some onion and garlic chives that I grew in the water garden. I'm also going to add bell pepper, spicy corn, bok choy, soy sauce, and ginger. The possibilities really are endless, but the best part is the soft-boiled egg. That came out perfect. Thank you again so much for joining us today. Please don't forget that OO is rooting for you. We know that you will grow through this. And those are the last puns I'm going to make for this video. Thanks again for hanging out with us. I hope you learned a little bit about what you can do to regrow food in your own kitchen. And without further ado, I'm going to hand this over to Vinny. Don't worry, this egg isn't raw, man. Because that's ramen.
Thanks, Hannah, and hello, everyone. My name is Vincent. I'm an Outdoor Outreach instructor and leadership program graduate. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to Outdoor Outreach Community Connect, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and click on the link in our description. Please stay updated with our Instagram and Facebook as we have the latest news on COVID-19 and the best ways for getting outdoors right now. This Friday, we have a live stream on our Facebook at Outdoor Outreach, and if you can't make it live, we'll post it to our YouTube channel and our Instagram page. So again, with all this COVID news going around, we want to leave you with some feel-good news. So we have a video here of a college student sewing free masks for people with hearing impairments to communicate. You can click on this link. See you next time.